So there's not one way to wrap your hands. There are many, many ways to wrap your hands with certain principles. If anyone tells you that there's only one way to do it, they're full of shit. They don't know what they're talking about. This is how I wrap my hands. I prioritize knuckle padding over wrist support. We're using Rev Gear 180-inch hand wraps, but any semi-elastic or Mexican style hand wrap will work. I'll show you how I do it one time, and then on the other hand, I'll show you what I do differently. I'm gonna hook this little loop in my pinky like this, and I'm gonna make my knuckle pad like that, 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna put it over this. I'm centering it up, and I'm gonna grab it with this right here. And then I gotta sneak my thumb out. Now, you could go around one more time, but I'm gonna try to not get too much stuff in here. So I go around the wrist one time. I'm gonna lock the thumb like that. And now I'm gonna go in between each finger. I go like this, make a fist, open. Go around, make a fist, open. Go around, make a fist, open. Now, I can't go back out this way. Some people go back out this way. I go back out across here, pull that in tight to hold the knuckle pad in place. And now I'm gonna make one last X on the back of the hand. And now with whatever I'm left with, that goes on the wrist. Around the wrist like this. You don't wanna finish on the bigger part of your arm. You want to go up the arm a little and then come back down to the thinnest part. So there'll be some wrap left over on the outside of this. But that's the basics of how I wrap my hand. You can, if you don't want this, you can tuck this in here. Tuck that down there if you care about how it looks, or if you like to have like a little grip in there. Now I'll show you, if you've seen any hand wrapping tutorials, which you should watch a lot of them and figure out what works for you. You saw I did a lot of things differently than you might have seen before. I don't use the thumb loop. You know, a lot of people start, you hook the thumb loop and you do like this. My problem is my knuckles hurt more than my wrist. So I want a good thick knuckle pad. And you can use, you know, an additional knuckle pad or another wrap, but this is how I make a knuckle pad. I go around a 1, a 2, a 3. Remember Tootsie Pop commercial, right? Center it up, grab it, pull this across, and you got to sneak your thumb out. All right. Now I go around one time, hook the thumb. You can lock the thumb or not lock the thumb. I used to not lock my thumb until I hurt my thumb, and then of course, you know, I started locking the thumb down. This is just one way to do it. Some people go the other way. Over the thumb, then back around the way you came from. Across here, splitting the difference. I don't go there, I go right across there. Now, I'm gonna go in between the fingers. This, I make a fist to kind of let the whole thing figure out how it's supposed to be. Then I open, go back out this way between the thumb and index finger. Around. In between there, make a fist, open. Between the middle and index finger, make a fist, open. Some people, like I said, go out this way. It just doesn't work for me, but you should try it both ways. I'm gonna go out this way. Now another thing too, if you're short on wrap, like if you got big hands, you don't have to do this one. A lot of people will do this one, and a lot of that is just to make it look good. A lot of people just want it to look a certain way, but this one doesn't. Some people will put it across the front of the knuckles. This last one doesn't really do much. I put it on to hold my knuckle pad in place. You can go across, or you can go straight to there, and people say, well, that looks bad. But it doesn't really matter how it looks. It's just whether or not it supports your hand. So you don't have to do that last finishing one. It just makes it look a little better. But in my case, sometimes I end up with extra knuckle pad here because I make this so thick. So I go across there to hold it in place. Then I do that final X across the back of the hand. And now I finish up on the wrist. If you don't have issues with your knuckles and maybe it's your wrist or the back of your hands that gives you problems, then you need to prioritize that. You should check out some other videos on it and figure out maybe you need more of that X pattern and less of this knuckle pad here. If you want both, you can use an external knuckle guard here. If you click this video right here, I'll show you how I wrap my hands using these.